this video is not scripted. I just wanted to give my fresh feelings about something that I just read. Because most of the time when I script something, I tend to forget to record for it. And my feelings towards this piece of work are so fresh, and I wish to express myself as fast as I can. So during this video there will be a lot of stutters, but I will try to subtitle it as, if possible. What I would like to discuss is the work by Jeong Ji-hoon. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And his work, The Horizon, which was released in 2016, if I'm correct. The genre is drama, mature, psychological, and tragedy. Something that I don't particularly read or like. Prior to this, I have read his work. I have read the Boxer webtoon, which is one of my favorite webtoons. I would like to discuss the Boxer a little bit, so you would know my background with this author. I really liked the Boxer due to the fact how it presented itself, the idea of this man being so talented, this good, but not enjoying boxing. It's something that we have seen before. I believe in March comes like a lion anime, but it comes from a different perspective, a dramatic perspective, a very, so to speak, mature perspective. It tackles the people that the fighter fights, how their defeat brings them to near death, how much effort is put into their work just for this character to destroy everything, and the conclusion about life and how meaningless and fruitless it is, because there will always be someone better than you, is interesting. And the conclusion that the series comes to is beautiful, which I won't spoil, but please read the Boxer. If possible in webtoon format, because you will get to you'll get to hear the music. But yes, that was my prior experience with the author. I naturally noticed that there are a lot of mature themes towards the end, especially like self-harm, etc. I believe one of the backstories were the Santiago brothers' backstories were kind of fucked up too, and the main character's backstory is really messed up. But what caught my eye that the tragedy in the Boxer was not forced, it was realistic, it felt like it was natural. Nothing about this was like, oh, let's just do this for the creep factor, let's just do this for the, shock factor. Everything felt natural. And that's my thoughts about The Horizon. The Horizon follows the story of a boy in the midst of the war. First thing I would like to point out about this is how the author does not pick a side. He does not pick which side of the war is right, because at the end of the day, it's a war. None of the sides are right. Everyone is killing each other. Everyone is ready to bring a gun to each other's heads and shoot each other. And that was like the first detail I noticed. The second detail I noticed was how everyone is nameless in the series, because it doesn't really matter, and what their name is, where they are from. All that matters is that they are people, that they can feel, they can be damaged in one way or another. And the series, I believe, opens with a full color spread of a boy near the seashore, and we'll cut back to that later. But yes, the scene naturally opens with the boy hiding during the war. I won't show every page of this because I would like to preface this that there are a lot of trigger warnings. I will probably timestamp them. I will tell you about them in advance, but I would like to talk about a slightly more mature topic. Yes, the boy witnesses as his entire city, including his mother, gets brutally killed. There is this scene of the boy finding the mother's dead body. I don't want to describe in detail, but there is a lot of body horror here, especially because he's a child. He has no idea of what just happened. And the way it's drawn, the way it's presented is very unsettling. But that's the moment that the thought kicks in that this is not a fun story. This is not a story about a happy ending. This is a story how war and drama and misfortune changes a person. Yes, and I won't go into details, of course. I won't be showing you the pages of what happens exactly, but I will say that the author, through dialogue, through the narrator's voice, brings a lot of character to this story. I feel like this story would not be half as good if not for the narrator. Same could be said for the boxer. Yes, the description of the mother is especially terrible in here. And the boy's thought process is... It feels like something that a little boy would not come to. But when you think about it, that what the boy just experienced, how he's drawn, how his eyes are like lifeless, you can tell that the boy has to face with a lot of things that most of the other kids his age would never face. He has no one to talk to, and I believe he arrives at the bus. Yes, at the bus. He meets this girl. They just looked at each other. They looked at each other for a while. And I remember this scene of them trying to open up to each other with, like, the boy opening his mouth and there would be some cross-hatching. And then he closes it and the full panel becomes cross-hatched. That's such an interesting way to showcase how it's hard to open up to one another. I found the page really interesting, the paneling really good. And then an explosion happens. And both the boy and the girl flee together. And it's a really beautiful scene, to be honest. Because in this terrible world, they found each other. They're helping each other. They're moving along. And again, I would like to preface this. What I really like about this series is how the author does not give a concrete race or country or where this is happening, because it has no meaning to this story. This terrible thing could happen to anyone, anywhere. And that's the moment the boy and the girl reach a road which they decide to keep going on. Until they come somewhere and they start living a happy life. They keep walking until they see this man. I believe he was, disheveled man. And that's like the first sign of something more complex than most stories present to happen. The man seems to be, he seems to be damaged, mentally damaged somehow. He is wearing clearly like a tie, button-up shirt, but he's not acting mature for his age. And there is another very unsettling scene here. I won't describe what happens exactly, but for everyone reading chapter 2, viewer discretion is advised. There is some... I can't exactly say what is happening without saying what happens, but the girl and the boy fall asleep. and the man is following them. So they decide to escape from the man because the man previously drank their water and supplies are short. But an explosion happens in the distance, and here is the sign that the man is truly damaged, not in the head. He has PTSD, he has war flashbacks, maybe something like that, because when he hears an explosion, he wakes up and chases the boy and the girl crying, as if begging them to stay with him, not leave him alone. The boy, panicked, devises a plan, is to try to escape every day, until the man tires himself out and won't be able to pursue them anymore. At the same time, the girl pretends to drink the water that the boy offers her, and yeah, this entire section is about how war damages people to the way that there may be no coming back from it. The man clearly needed help in this scene, and the boy and the girl could not help in any sort of way. They're simply children trying to survive. They need guidance, not another person to help or feed. As the time goes on, they seem to warm up to the man. And this thing about this author, he likes to give hope, but then he likes to drop us down to the worst possible moment ever. What happens is the man collapses, but the girl breaks down crying, asking them to keep going, asking them to maybe make the man their companion, because she feels sad for him since he's all alone. Then they seem to befriend the man, but as the time goes on, something is still unsettling about the soul. Something is weird about this man. The next scene is, I'll definitely say, your discretion is definitely advised. Happens, there's a timestamp right now on the screen, I hope. Sexual assault. The man is clearly not well in the head, which causes him to assault the girl. The boy, previously to this, finds a weapon on the battlefield and kills the man successfully. And the thing is, previously to this, everything seems to be going very well. And to be brought down to such a low is so terrible and sad, and this is what is scary about this world. This is what is scary about the war. This is what's scary about anything in our life. We can be brought down from the happiest moment of our life to the saddest and most terrible moment in a blink of an eye. Not due to something terrible happening, rather the fact that something great was happening previously to that, and something terrible happened after. And this scene, the way it's drawn, the way it's cross-hatched, the way the lines are made, the way it's portrayed, the loneliness, the words, the paneling, everything is unsettling, yet realistic. It wouldn't happen any other way. And right again, as everything seems to come down, another terrible thing happens. The boy and the girl get shot with a tranquilizer dart. Seems like some mercenaries are taking them somewhere. And just as you think something more terrible is going to happen, the mercenaries get shot. And in this scene, there is one line delivered by the last mercenary that really stuck with me. He says, "Don't do bad things when you get older." Yet this is the man we are not supposed to sympathize with. The thing is, the man realizes that he's doing something terrible. Everyone that is in this war, to some extent, realizes that they're not good people. They're simply not. Yet, everyone is drawn the same for these children. There is no difference between who's on their side, who's on the other side. Everyone is drawn in this weird, liney way tone. I know, it's not a screen tone, but you get the idea. They seem to be found by this sniper in a full suit outfit. He seems to take care of them. But what caught my attention in this scene, and maybe I did not notice, but the boy's leg was not previously broken to this. I think so. So this man broke it? What happens? The other thing that catches my eye is that how the man finds ration in this scene. He finds food, etc., and he feeds them. He seems to be very well spoken. And his deal with the children is that they help him, he helps them. And the way the children talk between each other is very, again, unsettling but realistic. They're children, they are trying to rationalize this, but they come to understand that they're in a position where they can't really decide what they can and can't do. They just have to follow their road until they come to somewhere. As they come to the place that the man wants them to work is a bunch of cameras. And the man wants them to tell the locations of the mercenaries so he can shoot them down with his sniper rifle. Now, the thing is about this scene is that the boy seems to be okay with murdering everyone, yet the girl does not. When the girl says she's not comfortable with him, the man claims that these people are using guns to reach their goals. They are willing to kill, so she should not feel bad for them. Yet, the irony is that the boy killed previously to this. He lied to the man when he asked if the boy ever killed. And the irony is that the sniper, the man, is clearly holding a gun to reach his goals, to stay alive. This entire scene is sad, but again, everything that this man says makes sense and does not make sense at the same time. Everything. The boy simply wishes to protect himself and the girl, and he wishes to learn how to use a gun. The man agrees to the terms of the girl that he doesn't want her to kill. She doesn't want to kill, so he gives her another job, to cook. As they help the man and as the boy learns to shoot, the man seems to be dying. It's clear that there is no way for him to stay alive. It's clear that he lost something that day too. It's clear that his life was full of misfortune. And as the dialogue keeps going with the girl and the boy and the man, it turns out he was a doctor. He was a part of society. He wanted to help people. And he believes what he's doing right now is helping in any way, shape, or form he can. He knows he can do nothing, but he decides to do what he can. He realizes that their goal to reach the end of the road is ludicrous. And another thing is, he realizes that this world is governed by other things, other desires, other emotions that are not rational. If the world would be rational, this war would never happen. And so he describes him writing a book as something not rational. There is no point in writing a book. He will probably never publish it. He will probably die before he publishes it. And as the cross-hatching around him becomes more white, it seems like he starts sharing a lot more. One of the biggest text bubbles from him seem to appear. The boy, for the first time, struggles to kill someone because he believes that the man is no longer a threat. Which brings the man to a thought for a final test for the boy. He wishes the boy to kill a person tonight. Kill a person tonight. And the boy struggles. He's goaded into shooting him. He was told that this is one of the men that abducted him. Yet the boy shoots the man in the leg. And after that, the man shoots the man in the head. The man in the business suit shoots in the head. I just said that them having no names is a big plus, but right now I'm realizing that it's hard to describe the story without giving characters names. Yes. It turns out, or at least it's implied, that the man knew that the boy previously killed someone. He just wanted to know why. Was there a reason, rhyme behind this? And the boy's answer is, he's a human being just like us. I cannot kill him right now when he does pose a threat to us. Confirming that the reason the boy attacked that poor man previously to this is because he was a threat, not because he felt like it. We cut to the girl that finds out that a very dark scene, again, your discretion is advised. All the meat came from people. Everything they ate was human, and the girl finds a living man there. Through dialogue, it seems like the girl is naive. She wants to free the man. And she does so. And that brings us to a very scary situation right now. She technically betrayed everyone. But there is this feeling that we don't know everything in this scene. By the way, I'm skimming through a lot of things because I don't want to go in more detail. I still want you to read this if you are up to it. The dialogue between the boy and the girl is really good. I really like it. I like how their relationship is developed throughout this story. There is a lot of thought put into it for 21 chapters. And it's finally revealed that the man knew that the girl would free the man, free the mercenary. And the man says it's time for them to go. And as a group of mercenaries approach the children, it turns out that the mercenary lets them go. He paid them back he paid their kindness back. And the man looks, and the business suit man looks at the picture of his family as he sets out the explosives. With this, they keep going on their road. They keep going, and they keep going. They keep going. But it seems like their relationship is getting better. They seem to learn how to survive. They seem to learn how to live their new life. They seem to get closer to each other. Until the boy falls ill. This scene is really, really heartfelt. The girl is scared. The girl wants to protect the only person she cares right now for, as she remembers her past. The girl's past is, again, fucking terrible. There's going to be one scene. I'm going to ask everyone with a faint heart just not to listen to me for... I know, I'm going to time step it again. Basically, to cut it really short, a bunch of people on a bus escaping from their ruined city. As the time goes on, what I would like to point out again, the bus consists of a married couple with their child, maybe 1 year old, a woman with glasses, an old man, and two men of what I can assume African American race or any other. Why I'm pointing this out is, again, there is no concrete country or race or anything this is coming from. The author wants us to understand that this is not a problem unique to one place. This can happen anywhere, anytime. So, as we keep going with this group, it turns out that they have to keep letting people go due to the fact that they're out of rations. And it's scary because we are sharing dialogues with these people and we come to realize that they have to let go of people. And the first person to let go is the old man due to his infectious disease. And as they let the man go, he cries out. As the time goes on, they let more people go until they let go the girl's father. He leaves her, promising to see her one day. The dialogue here is just, it's unsettling. And it's not the only person. One of the people, again, your discretion is advised, self-harm. Please skip to the time step. Kills herself due to realization that she would just be a burden. And as more people go and go, and again, for very faint-hearted, if you're still watching, please stop. The child dies. The parents leave. The child dies. A small child. After which the driver dies too, and the girl is forced to take away the body. And this is the moment she meets the boy. The boy that brought joy to her life, that finally made her happy about stuff. Yes, they had misfortune, but he's her last ray of hope. And she's afraid to lose him, and the joy that comes over her face when the boy is actually okay. They seem to share this scene as the color yellow comes into play. They are happy. They're finally happy together. They're in love. They like each other. And abruptly, as this all happens, they come to the end of the road. Chapter 16, they come at the end of the road. And chapter 17, they come at the end of the road, yeah. And they meet, they go past the road. They still plan on keep going. They meet a very similar group of, duet of a girl and a boy, just like them. But the difference is that they speak the other language, and the boy speaks, the English that we are following them with. And the thing is, the scene shows that they're exactly the same. It didn't matter where they are from. This, again, terrible tragedy can happen to any of us. It's not exclusive to, a country like America, I don't know. And as things seem to settle down and both boys drop their aim, a bomb sets off near them. And this page is... I'm not going to show it, but I'm going to describe it. In a panic over the sound, our boy that we are following, shoots down the other boy. And before that happens, he shoots down the girl that we have been following. So we're stuck with our main character and this girl that was just introduced. And before we can process anything, the girl, again, self-harm, everyone, skip, kills herself. And the boy keeps going. He seems to keep going since he has nothing left, and the terrible realization that comes over us is that the scene we have seen in the start of the series with the boy near the shore is the scene that we are at right now. The boy crying near the shore, not knowing what to do, kill himself maybe at the sea, at the dark black sea, or collapse. He seems to be saved by the army, but he grows old. He starts living alone as a fisherman. He seems to build the house he promised the girl once. The boy, or the old man now, lives alone, a sad life, questioning the reason he's alive, questioning why he didn't die that day, until he meets a couple, which he greets initially with a rifle, but then he notices scars on them. He notices that they're just as hurt from the war as he was. And the thing about this scene is that it seems like, again, through the barrier of the language, he still makes friends with them. He still finds a language with them somehow. And again, as things seem to be better for him, even though he has this terrible disease, even if he's in this black sea of nothingness and hollowness, he seems to still find happiness. These people are happy to see him. And as his lifeless eyes gain color again, he still does not understand why he's alive. As he tries to share his feelings, his understanding of this world, his faith with these people, he can't seem to open up again. He thinks about his death every day, and eventually he thinks about dying. But tragedy strikes again, as it seems like the young man is swept up by the sea. And it's especially terrible because I felt that something terrible was going to happen, because it was kind of implied that the girl was pregnant, that they were going to have a child. And as it all happens, the man wants to walk away. He knows that there's nothing he can do in this situation, but it seems like he's done. He's done hearing. He's done telling himself he can't do anything. He's done telling himself that he could not do anything. He wants to take what little he has of his life in his control. He wants to save this man whose name he does know. This person that he did not know for that long. He wants to save them. He wants to find the light in his dark life. He feels like life is withering away from him. He sees no hope, but he just hopes. He just hopes he can find something. And as in this black sea, he sees a ray of hope. And as he comes to it, he finds love. And as he comes, he sees something above the horizon. This page is beautiful for many reasons, and I would like to talk about it a little bit more as I discuss the last chapter 21. The young man and the young woman seem to have a child, which treats the old man or the old boy as their grandfather. And the grandfather teaches the young child about life through this whale that is dying. He seems to see that in the child, the girl he once loved, that he lost. The values of life. He seems to enjoy his life again. He seems to be happy. He learned the warmth of the life. He was finally happy. And as he drifted away into the sea, into this no longer dark, beautiful sea, he seemed to finally reach happiness. Hoping that the story of the boy and the girl going through the endless road be eternal. This, I have been talking for about 35 minutes, but I'm not doing this story justice. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm speaking with a very heavy heart right now. Whew. And what I would praise this story a lot more, it deserves a lot of credit for this, is how it, despite everything terrible that is happening in this world, the author still wants us to find happiness. The thing with a lot of dramatic stories is that they seem to give you the problem, like, life is shit, and you gotta fucking deal with it. But what this story gives us is life is terrible, war is terrible, but if you manage to find the ray of hope at the end of your horizon, you will find happiness. And happiness does not come immediately. The boy found the happiness at the old age, after everything he went through. And I find the message generally really beautiful. And yes, there's not a perfect happy ending, but it is a happy ending. Many stories also like to tone down the violence a little bit, but still tackle dark stories. For example, they are not willing to, say, kill on camera, or when the character dies, they simply make a small bullet hole in their head, or etc. This story goes all out, and not because it's a creep factor, a shock factor. No, it's because it's important to this story. It's important for us to understand that this is war. It sets down this background for us to understand. It sets out this perspective of this boy for us to dive into and to understand. Yet again, I know I'm doing a big tautology here, but I have to explain myself. But what is the most beautiful about this story is the notion that no matter if it's a perfect happy ending or maybe a slightly flawed one, it's a happy ending. The boy reached happiness. He found it. And that's what I think is beautiful. That throughout this long, dark tunnel of the misfortune, you will be able to find happiness. And the author is trying to say that we should not give up. The story brings a lot of questions into, not questions, but more lessons to our mind. War is terrible. Always have hope. Don't let your emotions and irrationality overwhelm you. And I think that's it. That's what I want to talk about. I want you to read The Horizon by author... Uh, shit. I want you to read The Horizon by author Jihoon Jae-young. I'm sorry again if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm so sorry, but please read The Horizon. And if you like this story, and well, the Boxer is really good too. I think I will talk about the Boxer too because it's an amazing series. It's really good. But please read over The Horizon. And of course, if you're up to it, if you're like really faint-hearted and you can't deal with depressing stories, don't. But if you can, and if you truly want to find an uplifting message in this shithole world, please read The Horizon.